The only real difference between anxiety and excitement was my willingness to let go of fear. The abundance of our lives is not determined by how long we live, but how well we live. Christ makes abundant life possible if we choose to live it now. Earth is so thick with divine possibility that it is a wonder we can walk anywhere without cracking our shins on altars. Every human interaction offers you the chance to make things better or to make things worse. The problem is, many of the people in need of saving are in churches, and at least part of what they need saving from is the idea that God sees the world the same way they do. As a general rule, I would say that human beings never behave more badly toward one another than when they believe they are protecting God. Our waiting is not nothing. It is something, a very big something, because people tend to be shaped by whatever it is they are waiting for. The great wisdom traditions of the world all recognize that the main impediment to living a life of meaning is being self-absorbed. Kindness is not a bad religion, no matter what name you use for God. Whoever you are human. Wherever you are, you live in the world, which is just waiting for you to notice the holiness in it. Seek not to follow in the footsteps of the men of old, rather, seek what they sought. 1 Gautama Buddha. Wisdom is not gained by knowing what is right. Wisdom is gained by practicing what is right, and noticing what happens when that practice succeeds and when it fails. Beliefs have become unimportant to me. Faith as radical trust became even more important to me. I think a toxic message in a lot of Christianity has been that the self has to be annihilated in order for God to be found. I think that has been a toxic message. If Jesus meant for his followers to rule the world, then why did he teach them to wash feet? Our shadows are often behind us, where others can see them better than we can. Humanity can be pretty stinky. Ask anyone what she means when she says God, and chances are that you will learn a lot more about that person than you will learn about God. Science is not metaphorical. Science is scientific. What I know and most of them do not yet, is that even people who belong to the same religion do not agree about what they mean when they say God. According to the Talmud, every blade of grass has its own angel, bending over it, whispering, "Grow, grow." The world for which you have been so carefully prepared is being taken away from you, he said, by the grace of God. In a world where faith is often construed as a way of thinking, bodily practices remind the willing that faith is a way of life. To get God on your side is a great way to feel powerful. Our lives are inextricably bound up with the lives of other people. So much depends on things we can never control. The real problem has far less to do with what is really out there than it does with our resistance to finding out what is really out there. At least one of the purposes of church is to remind us that God has other children, easily as precious as we. Baptism and narcissism cancel each other out. During the day, it is hard to remember that all the stars in the sky are out there all the time, even when I am too blinded by the sun to see them. Human beings have a hard time regarding anything beautiful without wanting to devour it. So of course, when it came time to decide what to do with my life, I decided to go to seminary. What else do you do when you are in love with God? Christians are not particularly gifted at knowing how we sound to others, especially in parts of the world where our voices are the loudest and most numerous. Most of us spend so much time thinking about where we have been or where we are supposed to be going that we have a hard time recognizing where we actually are. Somewhere along the line we bought, or were sold, the idea that God is chiefly interested in religion. We believed that God's home was. There is a light that shines in the darkness, which is only visible there. Salvation happens every time someone with a key uses it to open a door he could lock instead. I noted that it is sometimes hard to tell whether you are being killed or saved by the hands that turn your life upside down. We're children of God through our blood kinship with Christ. We're also sons and daughters of Adam and Eve, with a hereditary craving for forbidden fruit salad. God does some of God's best work with people who are seriously lost. It's difficult for me to ignore how many conflicts locally and worldwide have religion tagged to them. There was no time anymore to be quiet or still or pray. So, in many ways, that's what led to my downward spin.